Alright guys, I'm going to welcome y'all back in with the MCA, man. We are going to be talking about the Texas rig today. We're going to be talking about the Texas rig today, man. So I have here a 7.2 Viper rod. It's a heavy action rod with a fast tip on top. I'm not really sure the brand of this particular reel, but I do know it's a 71 gear ratio reel. It was given to me actually by a guy I had fished a tournament with. Shout out Richard. But yeah, man, it works very, very good for me, and it has been doing an amazing job thus far. But to just get into the reel, man, so because I'm out here on Lake Okeechobee and I spend a lot of my time out here on Lake Okeechobee, I have 17-pound fluorocarbon on this particular setup. I have gone up to even 20 sometimes, depending on what type of stuff I'm flipping in. So a lot of the times that I use my Texas rig, I use it in the same setup I would throw my Cinco, minus the weight size. So the one that I'm gonna tie up today, man, is just my 3/16. It's still a tungsten style weight. I have my bobber stopper that's already on there, right? And then what ends up happening is I take the snell end of my weight here, right? I line it up, drop it down to your bobber stopper. So a bobber stopper is mainly designed to keep your weight and your weight to your hook compact. So if you're throwing it in some isolated type situations, it keeps everything together so that when you move your bait, it also moves that weight as well. And then if you do not put the bobber stopper on there, your weight tends to kind of move. Your weight tends to kind of move without something being there to obviously peg it. Now there are different conditions where I do not use a bobber stopper, and when I'm throwing like a 10-inch worm or something like that out in like open water, I won't put a bobber stopper on that. But if I'm doing some flipping type of, if I wanted a flipping type of presentation, I definitely would go ahead and put that bobber stopper on there. So even with this, mainly I throw Cincos. I maybe even throw like some little creature baits on it. But this is just how I tie it up, y'all. So basically I take my tail end of my line here, put it through my hole. I take it, I grab both ends, and then I twist it about 8-9 times. I don't really count, to be honest, but I'm just gonna say that it's 8-9 times, right? And then I take my tail tag here and I stick it through that loop. I grab the loose end that I stuck through the loop, right? I get it going, and then I wet it. And then I just pull tight. What you pull tight to do is just make sure that your line looks like it's all matted together. So I don't know if you guys could probably can't see that. But what happens is it looks like a big mat right there. Can you guys see that? Looks like a big mat right there. And then you just tear, I'm gonna use the proper utensils. And then you just tear your tail end off. Right? Tear your tail end off. So I have a Cinco here, right? I go into the top of my bait, right? Pull out, and then I pull all the way down. I got a 4-out wide gap hook to it here as well. Got a 4-out, so 4-out hook. So basically when you pull it out, you want to make sure that the back end of this hook is facing the bait, right? And then you give yourself some room, pull it up where your begin point is, push through. Now you just make that thing weedless. So the only way you can make that thing weedless is that you push up on your bait a little bit and stick your hook down into your bait. And then that gives you basically your Texas rig. You want that bait to be straight as possible. Right? You want that bait to be straight as possible. So another quick bait that I like to show y'all real quick is a beaver style bait. Let me get one out of the box real quick. So these are the Avengers. The Avengers are made by Bruiser Baits. So I obviously pull them apart, right? So same concept here. So I take the top of this and then I go in here, pop out. I push around. Make sure again, your hook side is facing your bait, right? Fold that thing in half a little bit. Well, first you want to measure it, right? So you see where that hook stops at? So I want to go down to where I see that hook stop at, right? I push through. Now, once you push through, it should look like that, right? What you want to do is push your bait to the top of that hook. See how flat that looks? And then push down, push back that way a little bit and stick that bait, stick your hook inside of that bait. It should look a little bit like that, right? So see how straight that bait looks while it's on that hook? That's what you want when you're out here and you're flipping these creature baits and stuff like that. That's my basic Texas rig, y'all. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna flip it around a little bit. We're not gonna promise y'all a fish, but I'm gonna flip it around a little bit and see if we could catch a couple real quick. Y'all stay tuned.